It's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Purim, the imposter syndrome. If you look at the book of Purim, Megillah of Esther, there's a lot of imposters walking around. It's been noted that the book of Esther is related to the word Hester Panim, that God wasn't as evident in the story as he is, let's say, in the story of the splitting of the sea. God is very manifest. Here, God is hidden. It seems like just a lot of political considerations of Esther and Mordechai, but actually God is sort of working behind the scenes. As my wife's cousin pointed out in a book about Purim, said that the book of Esther actually has 13 coincidences where God just happens to do certain things in order to make the Jews be saved. So there's a lot of hiddenness going on. So the first imposter, the first hidden person really, her hidden character is God himself. But of course Esther is also hidden. The name Esther, as I said, alludes to the idea of Hester, of hiddenness. Esther is not her real name. Her real name is Hadassah. He, Esther, he omein Hadassah. Mordechai adopted Hadassah, or Hadassah. He, Esther, which is Esther. So Esther, just the name Esther itself is an imposter. She's really Hadassah. She's an imposter in the sense that her family is disingenuous. Again, it's wonderful if someone adopts someone, they adopt their family and their adopted parents. It's beautiful. And there is an element of the parents are not the real parents. So Mordechai functions as a father to Esther, but he's not really her father. So there's an element of not being exactly who he claims to be. The Jews of Shushan, Rabbi saying in the Talmud, why did the Jews get this terrible decree against them? Because because they participated in the feast. What's so bad about participating in the feast? Because when they participated in the feast of Achashverosh that he threw for the people of Shushan, they just seemed like they were just one of the Gentiles there. And when a Jew walks around as if he's one of the Gentiles in the crowd, there's an imposter syndrome. There's an element of being not true to who you are. Now it's true, the rabbis say that they had kosher food there. So they weren't violating kosher food, but in the sense that they just seemed like they were just part of the crowd, like everyone else. Not properly mourning for the loss of the temple, yearning to go back to the land of Israel. Perhaps these are the Jews who failed to go back. Maybe the temple's already started to be rebuilt. And Sheshazar and Zerubbabel had already called for the return of the Jews, and they didn't return. They're imposters in the land of Persia, in the Persian Empire. However, there are the villains in this book. They're not imposters. They're real. When you get to a villain, villains are what they say they are. There's no hiding who Haman is. He makes people bow down to him. He's full of himself. Vashti, she's real. She says, no, I'm not coming. Period. I'm not coming at all. However, there are Gentiles in the book who are imposters. For instance, Bigtan and Teresh. Bigtan and Teresh were the spies. They were plotting against Achashverosh. They were Misari Melech. They were among the eunuchs, the officers for the king. They were supposed to be on his side, but it turns out that they were on a different side. So that intrigue, that there's an element of the impostor there. I would say that Haman is an impostor in the sense that he pretends to be great loyalist to the king, but if he's really a loyalist, he should be loyal to Mordechai, because Mordechai saved the king's life. So Haman's an impostor in that he pretends to be very loyal to the king, but actually he's loyal only to himself. The one Jewish character who is totally true to himself when there's no element of impostor, you know who that is? That is Mordechai. Mordechai Hayehudi. Ish Yehudi Hayabishu. There was a man who was undeniably a Jew in the Shushan Habira. Now it's true he might have been from Binyamin, so there's a little bit of deception there. We call ourselves Jews, but some of us might be from Benjamin or Levites or or from Cohen, from the Levite tribe. But 99% Mordechai is an in-your-face Jew. There's no question. Mordechai Hayudi. Everybody knows that Mordechai is Jewish. There's no question about it. Vayetze b'toch ha'ir. When he was sad, he went out in the middle of the street and he ripped his clothes, wore sackcloth, and screamed out to God. Esther, who's more part of the imposter syndrome, she's appalled. How could he be so openly Jewish, openly mournful? A Jew should be mournful. Temple was destroyed, should be mournful. No, she wants to put on this facade of the imposter syndrome. She is all about being an imposter. She ain't Esther Magedim Ladavet Ama. Esther will not tell who she is. Nobody knows who she is. She's the greatest imposter in this book. But she's teamed up with Mordechai, and Mordechai is no imposter at all. He makes no bones about it. He's Mordechai Hayudi, the Jewish man. And when Haman wants to destroy Mordechai, he knows who his people are, who Mordechai's people are. Everybody knows he's Mordechai, the Jew. He might even be sort of like the town Jew, like Daniel was the town Jew. He was hired to be the professional Jew. There's no question about it. What is the book telling us with all this? The book is telling us that as Jews in the exile, and this book is written for us, we're in the exile. Whether it was written at the time when people were back in Israel, but many Jews were always in exile since the destruction of the first temple. And they're telling us, you Jews in the exile, sometimes you suffer from the imposter syndrome. Sometimes you go to the Christmas party and you seem like one of the crowd. Sometimes you just mingle with everyone else as if you're just part of the crowd. Sometimes you can rub shoulders with the best of them as if you're just one of the crowd. The thing is that Haman wouldn't go for that imposter syndrome. Hitler wouldn't go for that imposter syndrome. He didn't care whether a Jew looked Jewish or didn't look Jewish, professed his Judaism, didn't profess. If they had an ounce of Judaism, Hitler wanted to destroy them. Haman wanted to destroy them. It didn't matter whether the Jews were good Persians and pretended to be Persians, did a great job of impersonation of a Persian, or whether they were like Mordechai, who refused to be Persian. He was out there as a Jew. In any event, they wanted to destroy us. The book challenges us to not be imposter Jews, but to be more like Mordechai, to be out there as Jews. And at the end of the book, Esther comes out as a Jew, and everybody knows that she is a Jew. And he's proud of it. She's proud of it, and she's ready to declare herself an absolute Jewish person. She makes no bones about it. That's our job as well. Wherever we live, we need to be proud, to walk around, even in the most difficult times. Walk with our kippah, our Jewish star, our obvious Jewish dress. And if we happen to hold a lulav, we hold a lulav. If we happen to be walking around on Purim with our costume, that's what we're going to do. It won't help to be an imposter. The enemies will find us. The anti-Semites will find us. What we need to do is we be true to ourselves. And as they say, to thine own self be true. We need to be true to ourselves as Jews. And if we do that, Mitzvah Hashem, God will reward us. That one day, people will turn to Jews in Israel and they'll say, Hashem Shama, that's where Hashem is. They'll grab the coat of a Jew. 10 Gentiles will grab the coat of a Jew and say, take me to Jerusalem, show me his ways, show me the ways of the Torah. I know that you are truly a child of God. You are truly the people in the possession of the Torah itself. And with that, one day, not only the Jews, but the whole world will be redeemed. Thank you for joining us here at the Baron Hirsch Congregation for our discussion of the holiday. Welcome. Join us for the discussion of the Parshas and various other how-to videos as well. Thanks to Jason Lefkowitz, our producer, and thanks to our anonymous donor who sponsored this in honor of the Avas Torah and the love of Torah. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.